Hey, what's up guys? Hope you're good. So basically, in my previous videos, I've always been scripting and preparing what I'm going to say. And in this video, I wanted to try something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be sharing 8 crazy money facts with you guys. And yeah, let's get started. Let's see what they are. I actually came across the idea for this video yesterday. I was basically just scrolling through the internet on BuzzFeed or something like that. And I came across this page with some really cool money quotes. And I thought I could do something similar, but instead of quotes, do it with money facts. And these are not things that I've seen yet. I've asked my wife Evie to prepare these quotes, these facts, and she's made me a list here on my laptop. So we'll scroll through them and just have a look and see how crazy they really are. So let's get started. All right, so crazy fact number 1 then. There is more Monopoly game money printed annually than actual US currency. Jesus, all right. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing allots $826 million to print cash each year. The Monopoly people print around 50 billion a year. Jesus, so many family feuds, eh? 50 billion, that's a lot of money. Let's figure out how many sales of Monopoly that equates to. So, if we open up Google and search how much money in a game of Monopoly, $20,580 in a game of Monopoly. We're looking at 2.4 million sales of Monopoly each year. That is crazy. Now, how much is a game of Monopoly? I imagine it's about £20, isn't it? $25. All right, let's call it £20. 2.4 million times £20, $48 million or pounds worth of Monopoly sales each year. Jesus Christ. What a game, hey? Right, anyway, fact number 2. A group of researchers conducted a study in 2002 that found that nearly 94% of money is contaminated with bacteria, 7% of which can be hazardous to one's health. Now that's actually pretty funny because my wife's got this issue with money where she always says that it's dirty, and I guess she's right, 94% is pretty high. But you know, whenever you go to the cash point and you get out these new notes, new nice crispy notes, she's always like, yeah, we got some clean money. I always laugh at her, but geez, 94%, especially with coronavirus getting around as well. 94% is really high. I wouldn't like to think how much of that's contaminated with COVID-19, but hopefully at some point in the near future we'll be contactless, so we won't have such issues in the future. Right, number 3. Gambling rakes in more revenue than theme parks, sporting events, cruise ships, and music combined. In total, gambling accounts for roughly 35 billion each year, every single year. 35 billion. Anybody watching this, if you want to start a casino, let me know in the comments and we better get onto that. But no, gambling could be made up of all sorts of things, I suppose. We're talking about the lottery, talking about casinos, obviously, all sorts of different things. But yeah, I'd want to do a bit more research before buying a casino, I think. But 35 billion, that's a crazy number. Moving on to number 4 then. Rats are said to have consumed nearly 10 billion of drug lord Pablo Escobar's cash. Apparently he had so much extra money lying around his warehouses that he lost approximately 1 billion a year to the rodents. 1 billion a year? That's mental, isn't it? Jesus. The things I could do with 1 billion a year. Not that I would ever buy loads of stupid stuff, but why don't we just head on to Google and see what you could buy for 1 billion a year, or 10 billion. Let's go and have a look. So I found this website where they're showing 8 crazy expensive things you could buy if you won 1.6 billion on the lottery. So we're not too far off. Let's go through and have a look. First one then is buy 118 Bugattis. We're talking about every year here. That's insane. You can send 2,500 students to Harvard University. Take 3,500 friends to space. Geez, how are you going to do that? Virgin Galactic? Yeah, with Virgin Galactic. You could stay 9,169 nights in the country's most expensive hotel room. Okay, it's 25 years. You could buy Necker Island from Richard Branson and 10 others like it. Bloody hell. Buy 384 shares in Amazon. Yes, please. That's where my money would be going. You could live in 2 of the most expensive houses in America. Only 2. Jesus, that's just insane. And remember, we're talking about money eaten by rats here. We're not talking about his net income or how much he earned from the cocaine. We're just talking about how much was eaten by rats. That is mind-blowing. Jesus. Wow. Right, what we're on to. Number 5. The average child in the US gets an allowance of $70 a month, of which almost none is put into savings. I mean, we can't be surprised, right? They're kids. I never put money into savings when I was a kid, but geez, $70 a month. If I could go back in time and I received $70 a month when I was a kid, which I didn't, I'd definitely put that into a savings account. Let's see how much $70 a month would have been worth if I'd invested it into the S&P 500 when I was growing up. See if we can find out. So I found a website here where they do dollar cost averaging over time, back in time, if you know what I mean. So if we started, say, in 2003 when I was 10 years old, and then until 2013 when I would have been 20, starting with nothing, putting in $70 a month, keep it constant, yeah, $70 every month. We won't allow for any inflation or anything like that. Now then, hide the advanced, calculate. So my total investment would have been $8,400, and after capital gains, I would have had nearly $12,000. So there you go, kids. If you're getting $70 a month from your parents now, don't spend it on shit as much as you might want to. Stick it in the S&P 500, ask your parents how to do it, and then in 10 years' time, your $8,400 will be worth $12,000, and that'll go a long way to paying off your student debt, trust me. So S&P 500, that's what I'd do. All right, number 6 then. Of all the currency in the world, roughly 8% of it is physical money. The other 92% only exists digitally. Well, this one I can definitely believe. Definitely less than 8% of my money is held in cash, and I have hardly used cash for the last 6 or 7 years, really. I just use my card on my phone. Still, it's pretty insane to consider that 92% of all money that exists doesn't actually really exist. Crazy. Number 7. The average college student graduates at 22, but works to pay off the student loan for around 20 years, only becoming debt-free in their 40s. Now, I don't doubt this one for a second. I know student loan adds up. I had one myself, but thankfully I was able to pay mine off. Still, I don't think it's crazy that people are, getting into their 40s until they're debt-free. That's just what happens. But listen, I don't think getting to college is the answer. So many people go to college, they learn irrelevant information that they can't apply to a job which they get after college. However, so many people go to college and they can only get their job, which they get eventually, because they went to college. So yeah, it's a tough one, really. I don't really know what to think about that, to be honest. But I also think this has got a lot to do with people's spending habits. And I think if you set up a budget, which I spoke about in another video, and I'll link it above, if you set up a budget with goals to achieving a set amount of your savings, which you can then use to pay off your debt earlier, I think it's possible for anyone, really. And I don't think anyone needs to work until their 40s to be debt-free. All right, then the last one, number 8. Anyone who currently has no personal debt and $10 in their pocket is wealthier than a staggering 25% of people in the United States. Really? Anyone who currently... This sounds like if you've got $10, it makes you richer than 25% of people in the United States. But I think there's got to be a catch here. I think the no personal debt is a catch, because there's loads of debt that you can have, like a mortgage against a house, money borrowed against your business, which, yeah, it's still debt, but, it's an asset as well. So I'm not sure about that one. This sounds a bit shady to me. I'm going to take this one up with Evie after. And that's it, guys. They're my 8 crazy money facts. Thanks for watching. I know this video has been slightly different to the ones that I usually put up. So this style here has been more sort of for entertainment. I've been sharing my opinions rather than just facts about the stock market. So let me know what you think, if you prefer this video or you prefer videos where I'm talking more about investments and they're more formal. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you turn that like button blue, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time.